Hi everyone, today I want to talk about my experience with the Nightmare Dungeon changes. So lately, you might have seen this in the patch notes, there was a major buff to monster density in Nightmare Dungeons, on top of the previous buffs that we have gotten, like they increased the XP by 80% and all that stuff. And, well, I've been playing this game quite a lot since launch, I've seen the different patches and the different changes coming in, and I can definitely notice a pretty major shift in the leveling speed. So I want to go through that a little bit. Here's an example of my recently leveled Fireball Sorceress. So I had a really good time with this build. It's definitely one of the faster builds, I would say. And it seems like it can level up pretty well. So I want to show you like how long it took for me and to give you a bit of an idea of what you could maybe expect for your own character if you try to level to level 100 now. It is definitely much better than before. I would say that the Nightmare Dungeon density changes have probably sped us up by something like 30% or so. It's hard to say, but it's probably somewhere in that range. I don't really collect like, very precise data on this, but I've been going through some of my footage and, some of, the experience that I had with other characters previously, and it seems to be around that range. So the monster density itself has increased by more than that, maybe something like 50% or so. I'm not sure if people have counted the monsters in the run, but since not all of the experience actually comes from monsters only, but there's also like end of run experience, there's also downtime between runs, etc. The actual leveling speed didn't increase by the same amount, of course. But yeah, something like around plus 25-30% or so sounds about right to me. And that makes us really fast at leveling now. So as you can see here right now, I have my Sorc, and I was going to give you like a few of these timestamps to give a bit of an idea of how fast it is now. So for example, you see here I'm at the timestamp 1 hour 13, and we are right at the start of the level of 73, and we can move forward and you see how fast it goes. So up to level 74 here, we are at 1 hour 46. So this was a 33 minutes level up, roughly. And this seems to be like kind of the pace that I was going at. Of course, it's like slowly getting longer and longer, but I was also not like omega tryharding here or something like that. Here and there I took some breaks, so that obviously adds a few minutes. And, like sometimes I'm just like, doing those millennium monsters that slow it down. This is something you shouldn't do when you just want to level, for example, and all that kind of stuff. But you can see that the leveling speed definitely stays pretty consistently at a fast pace. So we were here at 1 hour 46, level 74, and now the next level up is at the 2 hour 22 timestamp. So again, this is like roughly 36 minutes or so. And then, it goes to like 38, 39, 40, 42, something like that. It continues. And I'm just gonna fast forward here right now. So this is me at level 87, for example. I'm at 2 hours 48 on this timestamp here. Right at the start of this level, after like leveling up. And then we have the next level up here. This is at 3 hours 36. So even that was still sub 1 hour on this Fireball Sorceress, like 57 minutes or something like that. And I think it's actually quite possible to stay at sub 1 hour per level all the way to 100. I think that with a really good build, if you're just like blasting, like speed running through those, let's say tier 50 Nightmare Dungeons or something like that, without any trouble, and you don't really, go crazy on like picking up loot like I do. As you can see here, I try to fill up my inventory after every single run. I'm not just like try hard, no loot and all that stuff. You can definitely stay at sub 1 hour per level and actually get to 100 relatively quickly. I actually kind of found an example here that I can show off for my level 97 Sorc. So at this point I had Respect to Chain Lightning, which is a worse build than Fireball overall, I would say, for leveling, and a little bit slower with the version I was playing. But you can see this here, I'm at exactly half of the level, so 97.5, and now the time to level 98 is like a little bit more than half an hour. You see here, I'm at exactly the 30-minute timestamp. And now if you jump forward, we are at like 1 hour 3, 1 hour 4 minutes roughly. So that was like 34 minutes for half the level. So 68 minutes or so. And this is at almost level 99 basically. So even with this setup here where it's not fully optimized, it's still relatively easy to stay at around an hour per level. As you have seen by recent speedrunner attempts, level 1 to 40 and like 1 to Nightmare can be done in as little as like 2 hours or even faster on some builds. And then you have like this little progression from like, you know, Nightmare to Torment. And then basically Torment, the start is where this video kind of started with like level 70 something, where you just like start blasting through the mid game basically and trying to work your way towards 100, which I guess will take roughly like, yeah, 25 to 30 hours or so from like level 70 on to 100 now, depending on the build you're playing, depending on how fast you are, but it's kind of like the time frame that you can expect. I'm fairly confident that if there's no major shifts either up or down in leveling speed with the start of Season 2, for example, that yeah, the 1 to 100 race can actually be completed in like less than 2 days basically at this point, even on hardcore SSF. So I'm quite excited to see that actually, how it will play out once the new season comes around. But I wanted to give my experience here with like the Nightmare Dungeon changes. Let me know what you think, how you have experienced the recent patch, and what are your thoughts on the changes. Do you enjoy it more? Do you like the leveling speed? Should be sped up even more? I'd be quite curious to hear that. And let's see what the devs will also do. That's it for my video here. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys next time.